Hello, hello, and welcome, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading for April, May 2020. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, president of Join the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Venus in Libra sign. How are ya? I hope you are doing well in this time of global challenge. Might be interesting to see what's going on in your soulmate contracts, considering none of us can get that close to each other unless you're already with them, and then I don't know why you're watching this particular reading. If you are new to my channel, please do like this video if you like it, right? Subscribe to my channel. We're getting up there. We're doing pretty well. I'm glad at the development of it. Hit that notification bell because I'm putting out content pretty much every day. Sometimes like the evening thing goes over to the next day because I've been doing live chats in the morning and in the evening to help support the community, doing prayer and meditation and spiritual counseling and stuff. And sometimes we just laugh our asses off the whole time, which is kind of fun. And please feel free to comment in the comments section below because I like to get feedback on it. Otherwise, it's kind of like talking into the void and not hearing an echo back. So yeah, welcome to this reading. Let's get some business out of the way here. This is a general read, not a private reading. I did 2 private readings today, so I know the difference. One is you get to talk to an actual person, one you don't. So please keep that in mind. It's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs, right? Get pieces of the puzzle because we all have different soulmate contracts, and this is a soulmate contract read, so sometimes doing it from your sun sign is different from your moon sign. And by the way, let's talk about soulmate contracts for a minute. They're not twin flames. Twin flames and soulmates, very different. What they have in common is that they are both soul contracts, right? Things that you agree to before you come into this life to work out certain soul skills, powers, archetypal stories you play out that help your soul grow and evolve from lifetime to lifetime. The difference is that soulmate contracts, you help each other heal. Twin flame contracts, you teach each other how to heal yourselves. Doesn't seem like a big difference? It's huge, the difference. Just saying, and that's why there are 2 videos in the description box below, one by me and one by a brilliant spiritual teacher by the name of Matt Kahn, if you're unfamiliar with him. Hay House author. His YouTube channel is extraordinary. Matt Kahn, All for Love. Go check it out. Worth doing. That being said, we are going to look at these soulmate contracts, of which you have a variety. My mom and I are soulmates, but we are looking at the romantic, intimate, sexual variety because that's the ones people want to know about, and so do I. And because I am Venus in Libra, of course I want to see what's going to come up for us. So that being said, we're going to look at it like a contract. Party number 1 will be called Divine Feminine. She'll go over here. Party number 2 will be Divine Masculine. He'll go over here. But don't get hung up on the pronouns. We're talking about energetic dynamic, yin and yang. It has nothing to do with bodily gender, though I will say he, she, him, her, etc., just so that I can keep it aligned in my mind. Cool? Other than that, because we're only doing 17 cards in this spread, which is a lot, kind of, sort of, remember to breathe. I'm going to do my best to stay as present with my breath, to partner with my breath, so that I can bring you through the clearest guidance and grace that I can doing this. I've been doing this since I'm 12. I'll be 52 in September. That's 40 years of tarot. But if you're doing the same, kind of breathing as you go, like if you see me breathe, breathe along with me. Sometimes I even say breathe when a heavy card hits the table. Then you'll be more in the present moment to feel what resonates and release what doesn't. Cool. Let's do this. Starting with Caroline Mace Archetype deck, just 2, one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine. Otherwise, all the other decks that I'm using are in the description box below, along with this one go have a look-see-dooksy. There's other cool stuff. I am a Virgo. That gives good description box. Let's do this. Nice deep breath. Here we go. Woo! My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, oh please, oh please. 2 cards, one for the divine feminine and one for the divine masculine in this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, soulmate contract for April, May 2020, please. One for the divine feminine. That one came out pretty easily. And one for the divine masculine. There we go. Now keep in mind, I tend to consider myself a divine feminine because of the amount of intuitive work I do on a daily basis. I'm kind of more overbalanced in my feminine energy that way. But if it wasn't for my masculine energy, I am Mars conjunct Leo rising, I wouldn't be doing this on YouTube. I'd just be doing it quietly in a corner. So let's see who our happy couple is. Keep in mind that archetypes are neutral. These are archetype cards. So one half of the card is about the shadow attribute, the stuff nobody wants to look at, but is necessary to look at. The other, the light. So keeping in mind that soulmate contracts, you are helping each other heal within these cards, or at least scratching the surface of what you are helping each other heal, whether you know each other or not, whether you are together or not, you are helping each other heal through the soulmate contract, through the law of unity, unity consciousness, law of one, all that. Ready? Who we got? Okay, tricky sticky. Now this, I'm going to say this word, but I want you to hear what I'm going to say because everyone on Earth has this archetype. It's one of the 4 survival archetypes. In other words, even countries have the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute. It's how we learn how to survive. And every archetype is neutral. So I'm going to say the shadow side of the name. I'm preparing you for the divine feminine in particular. And I'm going to give the name for its light side as well, though only the shadow is written on this. Because my darlings, and remember, I consider myself a divine feminine. My divine feminine Libra, if you are the Libra watching this, you got the victim archetype. Now, the thing about the victim archetype, in its light, it is called the victor, as in victory. So how do you achieve victory without victimization, right? Without being victimized? And the way we victimize ourselves, please, is really, compared to what other people do to us, what we can do to ourselves is pretty horrendous, particularly in romantic sexual relationships. So I'll read you the shadow attribute. Playing the victim for positive feedback. Sorry, the writing here is really light. Through the forms of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. And you can kind of feel that, right? What is victimization? When somebody crosses a boundary. But oftentimes we don't know what our boundaries are until we're in certain relationships and we didn't even realize we needed a boundary in that place. So that's how we learn how to survive, right? Like an immune system, there has to be an antigen introduced to the immune system for an antibody to be developed. Otherwise, I'm dancing around this subject like crazy because YouTube. The light attribute, what we're shooting for here, prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others, right? So think of that victory. Like, how does someone create victory in their life? Well, they set boundaries and then they estimate themselves as worthy, right? So that the victim archetype is the guardian of boundaries and self-esteem. Read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace. Knowing that was like a key unlocking so many of my relationships that I kept repeating certain patterns over and over and over again. And it took me still even a couple of relationships after that to realize that boundaries are always necessary. You know why? Because they grow and evolve as we do. So, for example, I use this image a lot. Like, don't talk to strangers is brilliant for a 4-year-old. Kind of toxic in a 44-year-old. How are you going to order DoorDash like I just did today? I had Taco Bell. I haven't had Taco Bell in years. It was good. Something positive has come out of this. That's our divine feminine. Who is our divine masculine but the trickster? Now, already a trickster and a victim. But this is a soulmate contract, so keep in mind the light attribute, these two go together brilliantly. But we'll start with the shadow attribute, manipulating others through duplicity. Dude, stop lying, right? Stop selling Eskimos snow, right? Stop pulling the wool over people's eyes, trickster. Now, the light side of the trickster, however, is lovely, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Sure, I have a touch of the trickster vibe in me. Not so much this year, but in other years, April Fool's Day, I have been quite the prankster. So I guess you could call the prankster an offshoot or a sub-archetype within the trickster, all right? So, the divine feminine, victim, victor, right? Very capable of victory and maybe fully in her completely alchemized gold victorious state, right? Victorious state. Jazz hot baby. And the divine masculine trickster. Now, already, this might be hard for you to decide which one you are or feel it out intuitively, but that's okay, because we're going to take the Daughters of the Moon Tarot that I use the voices for the goddesses to speak through for the divine feminine, and the Mythic Tarot to be the voices of the gods. We're going to do the element spread for both of them, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, to get you a little bit more of not just who they are, but where they are in this soulmate contract. Cool, cool. Nice deep breath. My goddesses, please. Top 5 cards, element spread for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, dealing with the divine feminine victim victory archetype, please, in this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic, soulmate contract. Please, oh please, oh please. Element of fire, what does she desire? Element of earth, what does she have to help her get what she desires? Element of air, what is she thinking? Element of water, what is she feeling? Element of spirit, what is the voice of or the point of view of her soul in this soulmate contract? April, May 2020, please. Thank you, my goddesses, maiden, mother, crone. Notice I look away from the cards. It's like I don't want any shot of knowing what these are until they hit the table. So I like being as surprised as you are, particularly when I'm involved in some way. Element of fire. What is it the divine feminine victim victorious one want? Well, 9 of Blades. Now in the Rider-Waite Tarot, it's just a terrifying card. The 9 of Blades. Right? The 9 of Swords. This is the 9 of Blades. The card is called criticism in this deck, but think critical focus, like critical thinking, critical care unit. I hate to use those words nowadays, but in other words, it's really focused on the detail. Now, that is more of a Virgo thing. I am a Virgo. But it would make sense if this is a Libra in terms of really getting down into the nitty-gritty in order to find balance. So for her to want that, this is about close examination, but a mental focus, keeping in mind Libra is an air sign. So to get down more into the details, because sometimes it's not just the devil in the details, sometimes there's delight in the details. Like a special flavor in food, or when your lover hits that particular spot, you know, the one on the side of your neck, a little behind the ear, makes your whole body go like that. Like that takes precision, that takes skill and some finesse, right? So think of that 9, and really only 1 card away from the fulfillment of the element of air, the 10. So really kind of like focusing in terms of a thought, almost there, I've almost got it. Like, you know, when you're trying to remember something, I suck at names, but like my mom and I do this thing where it's like, who was in that movie? They played this or that, and I'm like, and it's such a tiny detail, but there's nothing like bang, hitting it. This is sort of that reaching for it, almost there, almost there, almost there. Got it. That would be the 10. Cool. That's what she want. What's she got? What's her element of earth? The divine feminine card itself, the Empress, Mawu. This is the divine mother aspect, right? We've got maiden, mother, crone in the divine feminine. This is definitely the earth aspect, however, ruled by the planet Venus. If you look at the Empress card in Rider-Waite, there are just symbols of Venus all over the place. And since Venus also rules Libra, we're looking at what she's got there. She's got that mama vibe. She's got that grounded earth, Venus, Venusian energy there. So is able to support creativity and create abundance, to gestate ideas. And remember, this could be a male, but has that stronger sense of depth, earthy depth. Even if they are a Libra, there's something in there about a more nurturing, warmer, fertile aspect of their soul and personality that they have that can help them perhaps be grounded enough to get that focus, that detail, that critical thought in place in a way that is healthy, rather than just that ripping someone apart criticism. Anybody can be critical for what's wrong, but can you focus in on somebody's positive qualities, of the things that delight you, the things that light you up? Something to think about. Definitely something a mother can do with their child, but can the mother lover of the Empress do that within a lover? I think she can. Let's see what's going on in the element of air, since we've got the element of air so prominent in her element of fire, her desire. But you see, my darlings, here in her element of air, she has the element of fire conflict. So my sense already is that when it comes to this divine masculine trickster, that there is a mental conflict there, particularly because it's a trickster with duplicity here, right? Manipulating others through duplicity. And duplicity means it's like two-faced. Like a sleight of hand. Here, look over here while I rob you blind. Or here, I'm going to tell you this while I'm secretly doing this, right? Tricksters are known for being cheaters, right? So maybe there's a thing there, that there is a real conflict. She does not know what she thinks about this one. Now, keep in mind, doesn't mean they've met, but if they have, I have a feeling she knows better if she's already doubting, or perhaps she just has a sense, maybe I shouldn't trust this one so much. But keep in mind, this is a soulmate contract. A twin flame would be one that this person would long-term not be able to do anything else but deceive and trick long or short-term. This might be a way that she can help him heal that and really move into that thing of transcending convention, even his own convention of duplicity. Have to do it together, though. And so what's going on in her emotional field with all of this? She's feeling in a new beginning, stable, the Ace of Pentacles, new qua, that fertile seed, that acorn that within holds the potential of an oak tree, and that oak tree will have the potential of dropping billions of acorns throughout its life. Talk about a divine feminine earth mother vibe here. So to have earth and water that way, she's really grounded in her emotions, but in a place of new beginnings. Perhaps the healing, whether it's with this trickster or perhaps another one, the conflict is in the mind, but in the emotions, she's like, yeah, but I'm solid and stable, like, I'm okay. Little different than the Nine of Pentacles, right? She, or in this case, possibly he who has his own. But that thing of, no, I'm rooted, I'm grounded, I'm okay. I may not have everything I need right at this moment, but I feel so much potential emotionally in my own life that I will be okay no matter what happens. I might get shook, I might get shaken, I might even get stirred. But I'm okay where I am right now emotionally. And that feels really lovely. You know, again, it's just a seed. A seed can be cracked under your heel or planted. This feels like, particularly with this, she might be nurturing her own self, right? Particularly physically taking care of her own self, and probably setting nice, clean, clear boundaries of what she will deal with and what she won't. In other words, if she's never met before, she might already have these boundaries in place saying, oh, no, there ain't nothing going on but the rent. You gotta have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. I'm sure the millennials are like, wow, that rhymes. The Gen Xers are going, I know that song. Very, very interesting. One more card down, though. What's going on the level of spirit, the point of view or the voice of her soul? This could be the Virgo because we've got the card of analysis. Are you kidding me? This could definitely be a Virgo. I know we're talking Libra here, but like we've got criticism and analysis, sort of known as Virgo things. So go check the Virgo reading if you have any planets there, certainly, or if you're cross-watching for someone who might have Virgo in their chart, because I have to say, if the soul itself is saying Two of Blades, analysis, fencers, right? Now, I've never fenced myself, though I may have been out riding fences for so long. Desperado. We are looking here at even the soul saying, take in the information, honey. Analyze it. Like a fencer just doesn't think about their next move. They're thinking about their opponent's next move. In this case, the opponent feels like the trickster. And then how she will parry that, saying it for the divine feminine, right? But then how he could parry that, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So with someone who is really strong, and I do get this feeling that she might not totally be out of victim phase in terms of romantic, intimate, sexual relationship stuff, but might really be setting up stable boundaries so that her emotions are nice and solid, so that I won't be fooled again. Thank you. Roger Daltrey, just, ooh, he was so cute back when, still is. I'd still hang with him. Because no one knows what it's like to be the bad man. To be the sad man. And I have blue eyes. Let's do the same for the divine masculine, shall we? Nice deep breath, my darlings. As we turn to the gods, please, my gods. Top 5 cards, element spread. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit for this divine masculine trickster in this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, my gods, element of fire. What does he want? Element of earth, what does he have to help him get what he wants? Air, what is he thinking? Water, what is he feeling? And spirit, what is the point of view or the voice of the soul in this soulmate contract? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, my gods, Sun, Father, Sage, Sun, Father, Sage. Let's have a look-see-dooksy. Element of fire. What does he want? He wants temperance. Oh, thank God. For a trickster to want temperance means that he wants to be disciplined. He wants to be balanced. This is Iris, goddess of the rainbow, right? Rainbows come after rain. He wants to be better. He wants to be stronger. He wants to be healthy. He wants to be honorable and loyal and upright. Rock and roll. But it's going to take him some time. I was talking about this in another reading. I forget which one. It was in this series I'm doing now. Think about tempering eggs. Right? If you're cooking something and you don't want those eggs to turn into scrambled eggs when added to heat, you have to gradually heat them up. Usually by adding another warm liquid to it and stirring it in gently, slowly, slowly. Because if you pour all the hot stuff in too much, scrambled eggs. Not great in a souffle, right? Not that I've ever done that. I'm a good cook, but I am no chef. I leave the baking and the souffles to other people. I'm a potion witch. I'm good with sauces and stews. But you know what? Hollandaise is a bitch if you don't know what you're doing, right? Still, it has to be tempered. So what is tempering? It does take discipline. It does take willpower. It does take a means of balance to get the formula right. And it takes time, right? So if that's what he's wanting, this trickster may be reformed or in the process of reforming. At least that's what he wants. He may want a balanced relationship. Is like when someone says they lose their temper. Temper doesn't necessarily mean anger. It means that they're trying to temper their anger. They're trying to calm it down, balance it out, but they lose their temper. In other words, they lose their balance, right? They lose their discipline there. So that's what he wants. That's pretty good. Element of earth. What he got. 2 major arcana cards in a row. The Magician, well, he's got the ability to bring inspiration into form. That's why you always see, you know, sort of the Saturday Night Live magician card there. They're like, Saturday Night Live? Oh, that's Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever. It's okay. I was off by a word. Don't be so critical. A little John Travolta action there. But definitely this is the god Hermes, right? The god of alchemy. He's got his own system of magic, hermetic magic here, at a crossroads with fire, earth, air, water, on the, you know, it's got the wand as the caduceus, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle there. His 4 elements at a crossroads, having to what? Make a decision. Like, should I wear the white polyester suit out to the disco tonight or not? How is he going to do it? So he's got his willpower in place here, but will he do it in a tempered, healthy, balanced way or not? Will he deceive or will he be honest? Only his shadow knows. I don't expect everybody to get that reference, but I just crossed an old radio show with Jungian psychology. Sometimes I just know too much. Venus and Libra. Air, what's he thinking? 3rd major arcana card. What he's thinking is about his own fears. The card of the devil in this deck pan. That's all I'm going to say of that name, because I don't want to get flagged on YouTube. Okay, so here he is with his pan pipes, you know, playing his music with his little faunettes, satyrettes underneath him. That what's on his mind is, you know, either facing his fear or he's got a case of the hornies, right? That he may very well be ready to mingle. Let's just hope he is single, whether or not he's young, right? That's on his mind, that he's got his urges, his more carnal side on it. And if it's not that, then he really is dealing, as I said, only the shadow knows. Well, the card of the devil can also very much be about the shadow self, the stuff that he has repressed. Look, nobody goes around manipulating others through duplicity unless they are in some kind of pain, shame, guilt, getting over grief, or has unhealed grief. Therefore, they don't want to get hurt. Therefore, they have to kind of trick people to get what they want. They don't want to be open. They don't want to be honest. They don't want to be vulnerable. So underneath, really, all deception is pain, but they don't even want to look at that pain. And by the way, none of us are raised to move into our pain in order to heal it. We are taught to avoid it physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, every way that we possibly can. So I feel for the tricksters and the deceivers in their shadow, because they really could be transcending convention and stuffiness and being really such a joy to be with if they would just be vulnerable and be truthful. Because the truth is if people saw who we really are, they would love us, but we're so terrified if they see who we really are that they will run and scream in horror. That's very Course in Miracles. The truth of who we are, wounds and all, is actually quite beautiful. But we all have our process of learning to love ourselves, don't we? Let's keep going. What's he feeling? Because if that's what he's thinking, what he's feeling should be interesting. Talk about hidden energies. The Queen of Cups, the card of Scorpio here. I find that very interesting. Oh, he has feelings. Oh, they run deep. But are they so deep he can't access them? Are they buried too deeply? Are they about, well, 8th house energy, Scorpio, money, sex, power, other people's resources? I have to say, though, there is a very strong sexual energy here that perhaps he is trying to temper that, to not be into it just for the sex or just for the physical contact, particularly if he is in a place sequestered in his own domain. Those are the words I've been using to talk about the thing we're all supposed to be doing. Or is he in a relationship that is not so sexually satisfying or romantically satisfying? How's the expiration date hit? So he has to keep all this stuff on the DL. For any of you unfamiliar with what the DL is, it's called the down low. Spend any time on a dating app, you'll discover who's on the down low, PDQ. So maybe there is something a bit duplicitous going on here still, and maybe that duplicity, that deception is within his own self, that there are feelings there that he does not want to deal with. A little typical of a divine masculine, but I have to say, with 3 major arcana cards in a row, the gods have taken notice of this one. my sense of it, particularly because you've got Iris, goddess of the rainbow, Hermes, the messenger god, a god of magic and of healing, psychological healing, and the card of the devil, Pan, but is also a nature god, an earth god. Perhaps there is some healing underway here, and I would think healing of his emotions, that it might be time for him to deal with what's rising up inside of him, instead of keeping it suppressed in terms of his own sexuality, his desires, or how about just what his heart really wants in terms of other people's resources. I mean, as great as it is to be independent and invulnerable to the world, without vulnerability there is no intimacy. Tricky shit. What's the message of his soul then? The position of spirit is his fourth major arcana card. And here's the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune, the Fates, the Sisters 3, right? One spinning the thread, one measuring the thread, one cutting the thread. This is all about the divine plan. In other words, this soulmate contract is gonna happen. Is he ready for it? Is she ready for it? Maybe not yet, and maybe that's a good thing, because the other aspect of this card is about timing. It is the eightfold wheel of the year, if you like, the eight-spoked wheel of the year. The solstices, the equinoxes, which are the seasonal quarters, and then those lovely, more powerful cross quarters in terms of at least the pagan calendar, so to speak, that this might take some time. Need it take a whole year? Who knows? This card is not broken down into segments, but there is definitely a divine timing aspect here in terms of fate and destiny and things unfolding. Now, we can fight our fate only so much, but can we attain our destiny? Well, we can't attain our destiny if we're fighting our fate. We have to take the hero's journey to heal and learn and grow and evolve. But I'm telling you, he's got feelings here that he wants to explore, and if these two do know each other from something previously, great. But that kind of gives me why she's got this card of conflict in her mind. I don't know if she trusts him, and I don't think she should just yet. Not until he proves himself, not until some time has gone by and some temperance has happened, some discipline, some healing, some balance. And you see, the thing is, he has all the tools to do it. He's got the Magician card in the position of Earth. He has access to the healing, the therapy, the self-help, the whatever it takes. But I really think he's kind of either thinking about his own shadow, his own guilt, his own chains, his own manipulations, his own pain, or his carnal desires, which may totally be enmeshed and entangled with all of that. Scorpio card in the emotional, though. His feelings do run deep. They're in there. It just might be he's afraid to go there, because maybe he just can't right now. We have 5 more cards left, 2 of which will be from the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue, to kind of look at what are the angels that each are walking with individually, but yet as they heal themselves with those angels, because of the nature of a soulmate contract, they are helping each other heal, whether they know each other, whether they are together, whether they don't know each other, whether they know each other and are not together, like everything, it doesn't matter. That's what a soulmate contract does, right? That's why my mom, like I said, she's my soulmate, granted not a romantic thing, obviously. First of all, my mom. Second of all, I'm gay. But she can hear my voice crack from hundreds of miles away. Like, when I'm sad, I'll just call her like, "Hi, Mom." She's like, "What's wrong?" Well, she's a Cancerian. What can I tell you? They're like that, Cancerian moms. The mothers of the zodiac. So let's ask these angels, shall we? Nice deep breath. My angels, please, 2 cards. 1 for the Divine Feminine Victim Victor archetype, and 1 for the Divine Masculine Trickster archetype in this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, 1 for the Divine Feminine. No, that's 2. 1 for the Divine Feminine, yes, thank you very much. And 1 for the Divine Masculine. Let's see what's going on. she's got the card of enchantment. This card came up in the last reading I did today for Virgo. I don't like the word enchantment. I'm a Virgo. I want to know what's the tea. Give me the truth. So with this card of enchantment, there is certainly that thing that says things are not as they appear to be, but it can also mean that the divine is at work in ways that she cannot perceive with the five senses, but maybe the sixth sense. Not the movie. The intuition might be able to tune her into. There's more here than meets the eye, which might very well be what mentally her conflict is here. If this is the Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for the Divine Feminine, it's like, yeah, I know I shouldn't trust him, but I can't. I just have this weird feeling. There's something else going on here. There's a mystery going on. Now, I always say this when this card comes up. Here in this card, it's depicted as a unicorn. And people are like, oh, fluffy pony. Unicorns are a couple of tons of raw muscle with a deadly weapon on its head. See what's there. Read Lords and Ladies by Terry Pratchett. You'll see exactly why I don't trust the Fae, as well as I have Fae blood. It's like not trusting members of your own family, but also why unicorns are tricky. They can only be tamed by virgins. Where are you going to find one? All right? So that's interesting. The Angel of Enchantment, that there's the universe is at work behind the scenes and things are not what they appear to be. I want truth. Thank you. He's got the angel of self-acceptance. So there are things about himself that he is learning to accept, probably the way he really feels, probably that there is healing, balance, and temperance and need here, probably that he has everything he needs to do it, and to accept that, you know, he's afraid, right? I'm afraid. It's nobody else's fault but my own, and even my own fault comes from things that are unhealed, and I need to heal this for myself. But along with that also might be the acceptance that it's going to take some time, and it's just part of his journey, part of his fate. Very, very interesting soulmate contract we have here. I do feel like these two are going to get it together eventually, but I don't think like it's going to be anytime real soon. We've got the next two cards, only 3 left. 2 from the Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves of all involved. Breathe. Higher selves of all involved, yes, my own included, please. 2 cards, 1 for the Divine Feminine Victim Victor archetype, 1 for the Divine Masculine Trickster archetype. In this Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, 1 for the Divine Feminine. Thank you, that was painless. 1, please, for the Divine Masculine. Very easy coming out as well. Let's see. Well, she's got act as if your partner is here. What a wonderful whisper of love from her own higher self. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you so you will always consider them. Now, easier said than done unless you're really with somebody. But if you're not, that can speak of visualization. That can speak of act as if, right? But it can also be about consider them in terms of who do you want to be in a partnership, right? I get this, what she has is this nurturing and this deep physical, you know, nurturing, not just, you know, emotionally nurturing, but a creativity with her as well. But with that card of 9 of Blades, the critical thought, be very, very careful to not overthink it too much about who and when and where, if why is simply because I want to be with the right person for me. It's too easy for Libras to be indecisive, and again, either one of these or both can have Libra patterning, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever. But the word here is act as if, not think as if, act as if your partner is here. So there's definitely some decisions that need to be made, some contemplations in order to align oneself to act as if anything. Keep going here. He's got love endures. Now, when do you have to endure? Now, honestly, try enduring joy without looking for the other shoe to drop, right? Who's trained to embrace joy all the time without fear? No one in my generation, that's for damn sure, and no one right now on planet Earth, I bet. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So the voice of the higher self here is saying to the divine masculine trickster, hang in there, keep going. This is love you're talking about. This is about a soul healing love, about a partnership, a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, really everything that everybody wants if they want a romantic, intimate, sexual relationship that's beyond a fling or an affair. That this is available, but he's going to have to endure whatever is necessary to get there. So rarely do we have to endure things too long that are fun and joyful and wonderful. We have to endure the work. We have to kind of deal with our own fears and do the work to find that tempered balance, and it do take time. One card left. From the Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contracts. Yes, they specialize. Did you know that? I didn't either until I started doing these spreads. Yep, the Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contracts are going to speak through the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Yep, the very same Matt Kahn that has the video in the description box below on Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. Go watch it. It's really good. He does a lot of these repeat after me's that are very empowering. I like him. I like him a lot. Let's see what they say. By the way, only one of these cards, doesn't matter who's watching, Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine. If you work the mantra, it will help you heal, which will simultaneously help the other heal. Now, all that's written on these cards is the name of the mantra on one side and the mantra itself there in English. So I'm going to read to you from the bookie book, the little booklet, the bookini, the booklet. To get you a little more info in there, because there's only a paragraph or so. Ready? Last time. Well, second to last time. Nice deep breath. My Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contracts, please, one card in clarity for the Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for April, May 2020 involving this divine feminine victim victor and this divine masculine trickster. What is the perfect healing mantra for either or both of them for April, May 2020? Let's see who they got. These cards do not mess around. Soothing impatience. There's nothing to do but wait. There's nothing to do but wait. There's nothing to do but wait. Again, YouTube has community guidelines. They have amended those guidelines according to what we're going on planet Earth, so I cannot say directly why this is such a powerful mantra for everybody. There's nothing to do but wait. There's nothing to do but wait. Oh, you can think there's other things to do, like freak yourself out, like drive yourself up the wall, across the ceiling, down the other side, being in panic 24/7. Not that there's not a place for that where we are, but it's about soothing impatience. There is nothing to do but wait. That's hysterically funny considering he's got the Wheel of Fortune, she's got that analysis with conflict going on. Act as if your partner's here and love endures. This is going to take them a while. Very, very funny, these readings this time around. It just kind of mirrors what we're going through on the planet. I find it so interesting. I mean, that's how it's supposed to work, but it's just funny. Okay, maybe not funny, haha, funny, but funny, interesting, funny. Soothing impatience. There's nothing to do but wait. When impatience is soothed, each perceivable barrier becomes an opportunity to be more aligned with your soul by slowing down. In the soothing of impatience, you no longer see moments of pause or delay as conspiring against you. Instead, you realize they are giving you time for inner reflection, where life's deepest meaning can be uncovered, even in the most ordinary of circumstances. This mantra is ideal for becoming more grounded, easing frustrations, and releasing blame. Book drop. Oh my goodness gracious. Isn't that perfect for all of us? Let's just get that temporarily tattooed on our inside of our eyelids, right? This is soothing impatience. There is nothing to do but wait. Let me pop up the picture. We'll see what else jumps. This all clicks together really perfectly. Lots of puzzle pieces coming together. Now here's your last inhale for this one. Well, breathe anyway. Nice deep breath. Magic clap. Because we're starting off here with the Divine Feminine Victor archetype in the shadow, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. Light attribute prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. And I have to say, I see that with that card of conflict in her mind and that Ace of Pentacles in her element of water there, really starting fresh with a nice solid foundation. But what she wants in her element of fire here is the element of air, the Nine of Blades, a deeper look, perhaps within, perhaps a deeper psychological investigation, a moral investigation, right? Going within, really pinpointing, maybe even a deeper meditation upon the core of who she is. And what she's got to help her with that is the Empress. Maybe this is about really feeling the unconditional divine love within her own heart, right? Giving herself that love, being that what's behind these newly erected boundaries is something magnificent and divine and rich and deep and unconditionally loving for herself. And maybe she's in conflict in her mind there, that Four of Flames, about who she wants to, if she even wants to do this again with anybody else, particularly with someone who might be a trickster, whether they have met or not. And emotionally, she does have that Ace of Pentacles, so I could understand her wanting to protect that seed of potentiality within that self, that healthy beginning, that healthy foundation upon which much can be built. And even her soul is saying, Two of Blades, analyze the situation, gather information, weigh it out, my Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, lay it out if this is the Libra, keeping in mind that the angels itself say, there's an enchantment here. The other part of this, it's like maybe she's really feeling the potential of a new beginning here, whether they know each other, whether they have danced together or have never met, and so gets that sense that, you know what, maybe I am ready, I don't know, but there are definitely divine forces at work here that I am not aware of. And so what is the counsel, the whisper of grace, the whisper of love from, that's probably a Jungian slip anyway, from the higher self. Act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you so you will always consider them. I mean, that really is act as if kind of thinking. But then let's jump over here to the Divine Masculine Trickster, the shadow attribute, manipulating others through duplicity. We kind of get that one, the sleight of hand, the prestidigitation of deception, which is fine for a magic trick, not great in a relationship. The light attribute, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior, maybe transcending even tribal dictate that would keep him stuck in a situation he don't want to be in anymore. Looking at what he wants that card of temperance. And remember, temperance takes time. It's about discipline, it's about balance, and it should be done slowly, and that is certainly notated in the Wheel of Fortune, really kind of saying from the point of view of the soul that it's time for him to do this in his life in general, not just for this relationship. In his element of earth, he's got the magician, the god Hermes, there at a crossroads, having to use his willpower, but is he willing to take the time to really bring the highest vibration, the highest version of himself into form, because he has the tools to do that, though it might take time in his own personal healing. Considering he's got the devil, Pan, in his mind, right, with the Pan flutes, he might be struggling with his own shadow, his own fears, his own desires. And with that Queen of Cups, the Scorpio card in his element of water, those two kind of go together in terms of a shadow kind of deal, hidden stuff, repressed stuff, or at least in the shadow, not wanting other people to know what it is that he's really wanting and what he's really thinking. And yet, with the Wheel of Fortune in the card of Spirit, his soul is kind of saying, well, you've got a little bit of time left for that, but not a whole lot. Take your time, but heal, right? Find that temperance. And a great big huge part of that is self-acceptance, which absolutely can be about accepting what it is that he really wants, accepting what it is that he really feels, accepting what he really wants to feel in a relationship. And maybe that does involve some more sexual, carnal, animalistic aspect of it, which I do think is another way of looking at the Devil and the Scorpio card, the Queen of Cups there. And by the way, the Queen of Cups in this deck is Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman on earth, the face that launched 1,000 ships of war. So maybe this is something that needs to be finessed or dealt with. And nonetheless, with that card of self-acceptance there, having to embrace all that within himself in terms of temperance and taking the time, that love endures, the message from the higher self. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation, which says to me that this divine masculine trickster, if he's really wanting to heal, he can do this, but he has to endure what anybody else has to say or feel about it. He may break some eggs in making this omelet. Great, another egg cooking reference. But in the meantime, what is the mantra? Soothing impatience. There's nothing to do but wait. And that is true for both of them. It doesn't feel like either one of them are ultimately ready to take next steps here, and considering where the world is right now, that does make sense. So perhaps they're right in the flow, but the flow right now is saying, cool your jets, sweetheart. There's nothing to do but wait. So my Libras, sort of makes sense. There's a not just an intuitive rationale here, but certainly an intellectual one as you put the pieces together. So may the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their soulmate contracts for April, May 2020, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may really overcome their own fears, their own doubts, their own shadows, embracing all of it. Even though they may not know exactly what's going to happen next, who of us do in this time, but that they may fulfill their roles in the divine plan in their own lives, in this soulmate contract, and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment, and wishing you, as I always do at the end of all of my videos, and I mean this truly, 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 hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.